Rollins or Sting versus The Undertaker we're looking at. Maybe it's Sting versus Bray Wyatt, which would be completely different from what's being anticipated for the future of Sting, or completely different from anything I've written about for my column for In This Corner with Jonathan Clarke. But I mean, stranger things have happened, and as I said many times over the years, anything can happen in the WWE, and that's a good slogan for a company to have. Let's use that. If anything can happen in WWE, then Sting's return will eventually happen. Sting did say in his promo, although he didn't reference the chance of Undertaker in the promo, he did say he was going to reach out and grab everything WWE threw his way and make the most of the opportunities he would be presented with. And if they didn't give him an opportunity, the hell with it. But I think WWE will eventually give Sting something to do, and as long as WWE gives Sting something to do, he's going to keep coming back. I just think at this point in the game, WWE creative doesn't know how they're going to utilize Sting, and I think that comes from frustration with Sting's character because they've never had to write anything for Sting to do. It's always been up to WCW, Ted Turner, and Eric Bischoff, and who was ever promoting it at that time. Sting was at the top in WCW, and with WWE writers never having worked with Sting, I think that's why there's a lot of confusion with Sting's character. But once they try to figure out something, once they finally figure out what to do with Sting's character, I think we're going to see him again. So to say we've seen the last of Sting, I would just be jumping to a conclusion. It would be jumping the proverbial gun, in my opinion. Firing a bullet, it would be a waste of a bullet to say we've seen the last of Sting. So I'll go on record for saying that we haven't seen the last of Sting. When, where, and how Sting is going to resurface and reemerge, I really don't know. But We Want Sting is the headline we're using in the graphic for this week's video blog on our YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke 22. And I want to know what your opinion is of the possibility of us seeing Sting again. Do you think we'll see him on the head side of the coin facing Seth Rollins, or on the tail side of the coin facing The Undertaker, or on a completely different side of the coin, which there isn't a third side to an actual coin, but on the third side of the coin, figuratively speaking, do you think we'll see Sting face somebody completely different from who we're predicting? Maybe a Bray Wyatt, maybe a Randy Orton. I go back to that list of suggested opponents that Brock Lesnar had thrown his way when he debuted in 2012, re-debuted in WWE the night of WrestleMania 28. They discussed matches with Randy Orton, Kane, matches that have never happened before, and I think that same list can apply to Sting. I mean, whatever would happen if Sting faced Randy Orton. That face-to-face between Sting and Randy Orton the week before WrestleMania, or 2 weeks before WrestleMania, was an amazing altercation. What would ever happen if Sting faced Brock Lesnar in a retirement match like Paul Heyman posed to us? There are so many possibilities that go with Sting's character that I would love to see. And at this point in the game, I wouldn't care who Sting faced, whether or not it was for the championship, whether or not there was any significance behind a match between The Undertaker and Sting, although you would expect this match to have some type of significance. A retirement stipulation, one stays, one goes, one definitive icon is determined, one is determined to go into the Hall of Fame the following year. You would expect some significance, but at this point, I don't care the significance of the match that Sting has or who Sting faces. I just want to know, when is the next time we're going to see Sting compete, and who is Sting going to compete against? Who is Sting going to have that chance to create with? In the words of Shawn Michaels, I think it's atrocious how Shawn Michaels kicked Sting in the face. Sting versus Shawn Michaels would be a great match. That would give Shawn Michaels a reason to come back, and I think fans would blow up at that idea too. Sting versus Shawn Michaels, a match we have never seen before, just as we've never seen Brock Lesnar versus Shawn Michaels all those years ago when that was teased, when Triple H was facing Brock Lesnar. The thing is, at this point, I wouldn't care who Sting faced as long as he had an opponent and he had another reason to come back, and WWE threw something his way to give him a reason to resurface. Sting versus Shawn Michaels sounds interesting. So we've got a couple of scenarios thrown out there. What scenarios haven't we looked at that you would be interested in seeing? Those would be interesting to hear about. Let us know on our Facebook page at HCW Entertainment, on Twitter with a creative hashtag at Jonathan Clarke 1, and in the comments of this video on our YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke 22, because as I said here earlier, the possibilities when it comes to Sting's character are endless. I just think it's a point of confusion from WWE creative not knowing how to utilize Sting's character or what to do with Sting's character. And once they override that wave, get over that wave, which is a huge wave, obviously in the mind of WWE executives and creative, once they override that wave on their proverbial surfboard, we're going to be seeing Sting used more than what we've been seeing him used over the last couple of months, because really Sting just kind of shows up in a promo, and he's only been doing it for matches with people like Triple H in WrestleMania 31 for that definitive reason to come back for the first time in 14 years on a major level performance with WWE. So, he needs more of a reason to kind of come back, and I think that Sting is just waiting on that reason, and soon enough, we're going to get that reason why Sting is going to come back, whether it be to become champion, whether it be to face The Undertaker, or whether it be to face somebody completely different who we have kind of overshadowed and not looked at for a scenario for Sting to have. Maybe it'll be Sting versus Kane. We've seen Sting versus Abyss. We've seen stranger things for Sting's character over the years. Sting versus Vampiro when WCW had nothing else for him to do. I mean, we've seen stranger avenues for Sting's character to have taken. I mean, the resurrection of Sting as the Red and Black Sting for the NWO Wolfpack. I mean, there could be something done with the NWO White and Black going against the NWO Red and Black, the NWO Wolfpack. There could be anything done just for an excuse for Sting to come back. Seth Rollins versus Sting, Sting versus The Undertaker, Sting versus Bray Wyatt or Randy Orton or Brock Lesnar in a retirement match. So many different avenues for Sting's character, and it's kind of just an endless list of possibilities right now we're looking at for Sting's character. When, where, and how we're going to see him again, I really don't know, and that's probably why I've been throwing up so many videos on the future of Sting and writing about Sting's future so many times for In This Corner with Jonathan Clarke and documenting it for my Google video blog, Cheap Shots from Jonathan Clarke and HEW Entertainment, which, by the way, has thousands of page views for all the columns I've archived for you on my Google video blog. But the thing is, the reason why I've been talking about Sting so much on YouTube, writing about him for my written column, and documenting him for my Google video blog is because I just want to see Sting again, and I've been a huge Sting fan for what feels like forever, so we can't go without seeing him, and I think the headline definitely speaks volumes when I say that we want Sting and we don't care how we get him. At some point, we're going to see the resurrection of Sting, and I think Sting is going to come back more powerful and more dominant than he's ever come back before. He definitely will be noticed by wrestling fans. And how about this? How about Sting comes back by giving us that Raptors entrance with the black trench coat and the baseball bat like he always did in WCW? Could we see a resurrection of Sting's character like we did in WCW when the NWO were running roughshod and Sting comes back darker than he originally left WCW? I mean, there could be so many ways Sting could reemerge in WWE, and at this point, I wouldn't care how he did it as long as he did it and he had a reason to come back, and I think he's just waiting on that reason, and we're just kind of speculating now as wrestling fans like we always do on everything. You know, who's going to be the next #1 contender, or who's going to face The Undertaker next year at WrestleMania. We've always speculated on different issues with professional wrestling and wrestling angles time and time again. So this is just another one of those wrestling angles, one of those situations that we're looking at a little bit too much. Maybe it's overrated. Maybe I'm overrating and over-exaggerating on Sting's return, and maybe it's just one of those issues that I'm over-examining and looking at. But the thing is, I'm doing it because I'm a huge Sting fan, just as big of a Sting fan as I was an AJ fan in terms of the Divas, and really disappointed on AJ's retirement. And I'm hoping we're not looking at the end of Sting's illustrious career after having done everything with professional wrestling. That would just be disastrous. I mean, the point of Sting even being under contract with WWE would have been completely defeated if Sting would have just came in for that one-time deal match with Triple H. I mean, to say that would be a ludicrous statement, so I'm not going to go as far as to say that and just end up by saying that we will see Sting again. When, where, and how, I really don't know, but we are going to see Sting again. Jason Derulo, and want you to want me for you now, and I will see you next week.
Like what you hear? Tell us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
It's too hard to sleep. I got the sheets on the floor, nothing on me, and I can't take it no more. It's 100 degrees. I got one foot out the door. Where are my keys? 'Cause I gotta leave, yeah. In the back of the cab, I took the drive ahead of time. Get me the fast. I got your body on my mind. I want it bad. Ooh, just the thought of you gets me so high, so high. Girl, you the one I want to move it. And if you want me, girl, you got me. There's nothing I know I wouldn't do just to get up next to you. Girl, you the one I want to move it. And if you want me, girl, you got me. There's nothing I know I wouldn't do just to get up next to you. Just to get up next to you. You open the door, wearing nothing but a smile, fell to the floor, and you whisper in my ear, baby, I'm yours. Ooh, just the thought of you gets me so high, so high. Girl, you the one I want to move it. me say